live. Hello, hello. I just really wanted to come on and check in with everyone, see how everyone is doing with all of the energies that we are experiencing, especially since the full moon in Aquarius really activated a lot of the outer planets with the personal planets. And I know I'm experiencing a lot and witnessing a lot of my old self in others, which is the most important thing to really focus on, is how are we as individuals growing, evolving, and changing? And how are we as individuals seeing our own participation, how we have participated in the creation of the inverted matrix that we live in. Good afternoon, Lisa. Hi. So it's been quite a profound time, and we're going into more and more of it, and it's in stages and layers, so we're not completely shell shocked, but I feel like a lot of people are having shocking events with Uranus energy very active and activated from the full moon energy. I don't have a whole lot of time. I do have a party to go to at a bee farm today. My son and my grandson and daughter-in-law are on their way over here, so I have about an hour. Hello, Amy. Hi, Paige. Our personality creates our personal reality. That and much more. We're getting a good look at exactly what has created our personal reality. Everything comes back around, and that's really what we're experiencing now through the end of this year, is the reverberation, the ripple effects coming back to us. I have noticed changes in myself lately. Yes, definitely. Hopefully changes that are more calming, more grounded, more patient. Adaptability is a big word for this energy. How well we're able to just adapt to all of the quick, fast changes that are happening in our lives and on the world stage. How well are we able to really take a good look in that cosmic mirror and see our participation, like I was talking about earlier, which this will be a bigger reflection for us all with Pluto. Pluto is at 0 degrees of Aquarius, still in retrograde, moving backwards, so to speak, appearing to move backwards, and will be moving back into Capricorn in 1 week, September 1st. Pluto will be back into Capricorn, Saturn ruled energy. Hi, Patsy. Hello. I'm so glad you guys are all on here. That's going to really help us tie up a lot of loose ends from some things that may be really confusing or had been confusing, or we may have felt like we were stuck in time. I'm hearing stuck in time, and that's interesting because we have gone through a couple waves of time bending, time changing waves of energy. So really, if you think about it, the past, even like earlier this week, seems so far away. The passing of time can either seem very, very fast or very, very slow, or just sort of like, I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. And for some, that can bring up a lot of anxiety. And what's the channel about? This channel is about the evolution in our human journey and how we each individually create the changes that we wish to see outside of ourselves. So this is an empowering channel that really supports one another through the awakening journey. Hi, new subscriber from India. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Not anthropology necessarily, no. We do touch on astrology as well as some other channeled information that I receive. So, hello, everybody. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat so that we can make sure that everybody is participating in a compassionate, loving, peaceful way. No dark arts here. No, can't believe it's Saturday. I thought it was Friday. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Hi from Fountain Hills, Arizona. Hello, Cappy. 1-1. I love Arizona. My Venus and Jupiter line are on along Arizona, and every time I visit, I feel it. I feel like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. But where I'm supposed to be right now is on the East Coast because this is my Chiron line. That okay, let me just take care of a couple of these. Okay. Home, yes. So if you're not aware, understanding astrology, Chiron is an astrological, it's an asteroid. It is it reflects our deepest core wounds from childhood and how we're healing and growing and evolving from them into our true soul self. For me, time is moving slow because of school, unfortunately. Sometimes we do get put into certain programs that will really show us where our attention goes, and everything here, I firmly believe, is a teaching tool here on Earth School. We're all in school if you think about it, and every experience that we have truly is meant to teach us how to empower ourselves and break free from the programming and conditioning that we've all had from birth to this time. And now the energy on the planet is really shifting. It has been shifting for quite some time. Really shifting. Let's see here. Miss, are you aware of the works of Dr. Gabor Mate? Yes, I am. I'm a big fan of his. I'm going to do a couple more things here. Doing a little house moderating myself. Thank you all for, let's see if I missed anybody else here. Okay. So back to what I was getting at, really just kind of checking in. How's everybody feeling? Have you had any big, huge realizations or revelations for yourself on your journey? Okay. Thank you, Patsy. Thank you, Patsy. I looked down for 1 second and I missed some stuff. So, okay, hopefully it's a calmer, peaceful chat for us all. So, big full moon that we had in the beginning of the week, and very powerful for illuminating more to us. For myself personally, I found that I have been working on myself and my thoughts and my, I guess you could say judgment, my discernment when it comes to people, places, and things, and how the energy feels, the dynamics. And certain energies will be telling you right off the bat, red flag, or this is a test. You can feel it. You can just sense it and feel it. Although I also want to see through the eyes of the universe, through the cosmic mirror, what this person is teaching me, what this experience is teaching me or showing me about myself. So I've been doing so much of that I really put all of the reflections on me, even though my psychic senses have picked up on some concrete truths. I didn't want to form them into any type of belief for myself. This is just my personal journey. until it was really proven and shown to me. And through this week, time and time again, it's like validation, validation, validation. Now, that doesn't change the fact that I also was able to see shadow aspects of myself. I also was able to see what it was triggering in me that I was aware of, whether it's a wounded child aspect, a shadow aspect, any of those things. So there's still that beautiful reflection to see ourselves, but at the same time, many of us may be getting a lot of validation on what our intuitive senses have been picking up on all along. It feels like this testing has been going on for a while. It has. It certainly has. And I know it's like this weird time. I don't know if you would call it time lapse. Many of us who have been on this journey for a long time have been patiently waiting for a big shift, a big change. And anytime we get energy waves in like this that are ushering us into big changes, big shifts, the first thing we're going to notice and recognize, and the first thing we should really focus on, is what's changing in me, what is shifting in me. And then once it's recognized what's shifting in me and shifting my outer world experience, from that point on, you can start to see the ripple effect of that shift and change in others in your life or just people around you. How do you figure out where your line is? Glad to be here. If you just go online, Google astrocartography, there's several credible websites that are free, and you just put in your birth date and time and it will show you, it'll map out your lines. Astrocartography, it's quite fascinating for sure. It feels unusual. Big waves, yes, these are big waves, because we are getting closer and closer to well, again, back to Pluto, moving back into Capricorn to kind of clean things up and tie up loose ends, moves back into Aquarius, then pushing forward into the age of Aquarius. When I say the age of Aquarius, it's just the very beginning. The age of Aquarius goes on and on and on. It really, we won't see the full effects of that for, I'm not even going to predict, but for quite some time. So, again, it's an individual journey. Aquarius is collective. It is about the collective, though. So we will be merging energies and timelines from our own personal along with collective energy a lot more through the years to come. Hi. And it will re-enter Aquarius November 19th of this year, then moving forward. So the end of this year is going to be pretty interesting for sure, Currently we have Venus in a square to Mars. Venus is in Virgo, kind of in her detriment. Mars in Gemini. So there's probably some more intensity when it comes to interacting with others for some. This is the masculine, feminine polarities kind of challenging each other. And this could also be within ourselves, whether it has to do with relationships or money, because Venus is also rules finances and that which we desire and put value on. I'm just flicking the old bean, enjoying the stream. It feels a little uncertain at times energetically. That's because of it's for many reasons, but mostly because of Uranus energy. Unpredictable, unexpected. We can sense it. We can feel it, like, what is next, right? So you might be picking up on collective energy. You might be picking up on your higher self kind of indicating to you, it's not over yet, there's more, because we do go through these evolutionary stages in waves, in cycles. It's not like ripping the Band-Aid off and all of a sudden I'm a lot enlightened and awake and aware and understanding, and nobody really truly is, but getting closer to the heart energy and the soul self, many of us are. Is it true the people with their evil worshiping will kill me on my birthday, September 14th? No, and I'm going to actually, okay. So I have removed people from the chat because this this platform is um, really important to those of us that are on here and have been interacting and dialoguing about our journey. I don't know how long I've been doing this now, for a few years. And I really don't want any interference with that, but you're all certainly welcome to be here and maybe absorb something that might be helpful for you. Just capturing the pouring rain on my camera. Is this really summer? Oh, I know. You know what else? I mean, I've got a long sleeve shirt on here where I live. We went from like 100 degrees to the 60s and 70s overnight. And it's the weather changes and temperature changes are absolutely quick, fast and furious. We still have Jupiter squaring Saturn too, so there's this urge to expand and free ourselves, and then Saturn is still restricting us in some way, shape, or form because there's still more that we need to, how do we say? Well, for me, it has been owning it all, owning what is being brought to me. Yes, I see that. I see my participation in that. Even if it's in the past, and a lot of the past stuff is coming up, stuff that we've already moved and grown from, but it's how energy moves in this. It's like a hurricane, you know, it swirls around. You have the tail end that comes back around. And it's like, here I am again. Just so you can see before you say goodbye, I see my participation in things in the past, all sorts of things that have added and created the collective experience. And I think that's what we're all being asked to at least own our part in things. All right, and move from victim consciousness to co-creator consciousness by owning our own shit. Really, it's not comfortable for many. It's not comfortable, but when you're already aware of it, it's like, oh, I see that. You can have a more lighthearted approach to it all, unless you're still really interacting and arguing and fighting with people. Yes, astrocartography. Yep. That's how it feels. Weather feels like the emotions some of us are going through. I agree 100%. And I really feel like that we do have a big effect on that. Our energy, I mean, it's all energy, right? Why are my ears ringing? Only started yesterday. Still going on. I thought a nap would help. Well, there are many reasons for the ear ringing. I think I did a video, but it might have been like a year or two ago on the channel. Everything I've ever recorded and posted is still on my channel. The ear ringing can be many different things, but it's definitely a new frequency of energy that you're picking up, that we're all picking up. My ears ring all the time. I'm also extremely clairaudient, so maybe your psychic senses in the clairaudient is getting stronger. It can also be due to like 5G, Wi-Fi, artificial energetics, solar flares. There's so many different reasons why the ears ring, but for me, especially when it was really intense in the beginning, I understood that my clairs were really starting to kick in very strongly. The great cleansing, yes. So let's pull a couple cards and see what the message would be for us all at this time. I know relationship dynamics for a lot of people are not only being tested, but the truth. This is the other thing. Things that were hidden in plain sight, or things that we were not able to fully see, we didn't want to see, we didn't want to believe, are showing themselves to us yet again in a new light. so that that helps people move on. Um, to get away from the blame game, understand that we all have participation in these dynamics as well. There's, if we can go deeper into what is this actually showing me about my patterns, my habits, how I interact with others, especially when it comes to relationship dynamics. That kind of takes you a step back from the situation, so you're not blaming and playing the blame game and victimization. Not saying that when things are said or done that are just absolutely atrocious, which happens, not giving any credit, not credit, but not saying that that's justified, but in the eyes of the universe, again, a lot of times our spirit guides, our higher selves, other people's spirit guides and higher selves have to resort to some pretty intense measures to really get our attention on things. So sometimes things unfold and unravel in really unconscious, unpleasant ways to show like where we are still unconscious, feeling really stuck, tired, so much in my head, gosh, plus newly single. Well, then, yeah, you got a lot to process still if you're going through a transition and a transformation for sure. Tiredness is probably the number one complaint I've been hearing, and I've been off and on tired and then wired. And it's again just the major fluctuations of the energy when they come in, especially from the sun. We're going to be receiving a whole nother round of CMEs and solar flares from the sun in the next few days. They really take a toll on our consciousness, on our mind, our body, our energy field. It's all electromagnetic, our electromagnetic field. So when the body's just like, no more, take a break, take a beat. We still have a lot of big planets in retrograde. Mercury's still in retrograde, so it's still a slowdown period where we're supposed to sort of use this energy to do deep inner reflection and revisiting things, all the words, right? Rewind, revisit, review, to really get in touch with our heart and our higher self or the higher mind, and we're not stuck in the programmed, conditioned mind that is also connected to all of our wounds, right? I'm learning not to give my power away. Yeah, to sort things out. Yes. Oh yes, boundaries have been a big lesson for me again, and showing me the parts in me of why sometimes I have a hard time speaking out loud my personal or energetic boundaries to certain people. And again, it goes back to family patterning, childhood. Some of these things are unconscious until they're brought to the light of consciousness. And we want to break free. We want to break free from all the limitations that have been placed on us and that we've placed on us from our beliefs from the past, so that we can be this sovereign being. Also, there's a lot of fear-based programming stuff that, there always has been, but it seems like it's on overdrive right now through the media, mainstream media, and society at large. So try not to be susceptible to that. Yes, things are going to get dramatic and they're going to get intense. And the more of us who can really stay neutral, stay in the witness, be more of a witness to things, witness of ourselves and our own reactions as well as others, the better. Really, we will help to balance out this energy. The more we give to the fear-based programming, the more we give into that, more we're feeding that. We're actually feeding that. If you look at it as energy, it's an energy that can only exist because we give our energy to it. Otherwise, it would not be here. So we, again, taking accountability for our part in what we're seeing in our lives and on the world stage. How much energy, emotion, focus are we putting towards things that don't seem right, unfair, unjust, or worse? Yes, I'm learning about my ego. Woof. Social media breaks. Definitely taking social media breaks is a big thing too. I've noticed social media has gotten very it's mostly ads on my end. Everybody's social media page is going to present to them whatever you're giving to it, I suppose, too, or whatever the universe wants to show you at that time. But the only time I really am on social media is when I get a hit of like, post this. Okay, post this. All right, post this. And I'm like on, I post and I'm off. And sometimes I'll get notifications that people have commented and I'll go back on to see, what others had to say, because I do want like that interaction. But aside from that, no, it's boring actually. It's boring, and it can be a lot of you really want to be mindful of what we consume. And when I speak of consuming, I mean what we are consuming in the mind, through and our emotions. And we really don't need to consume junk. I mean, it's nice to have junk food every now and then. It feels good, it's fun. Same thing with junk in social media. It feels good, it's fun for a little bit, but yeah, take breaks for sure. So we're going to start off with the Cosmic Tarot. Get a message for us all. The novelty of social media has gone. Absolutely. It's a great tool to use for those who are seeking, I guess I could say, those who are seeking commonality. Is that a word? Like, is there anybody out there that is in alignment with where I'm at right now? And that's why I like to post what I post, because it's all just random stuff that's like takes people into a deep dive. And the people that respond to it, I'm like, yeah, we are all on the same page there. Yep. Hello. Ariston 77. Yes, we still need the connection. Can't give away what you don't possess. We have the Prince of Pentacles with the Four of Wands, Ace of Cups, and the Emperor overall. And King of Wands below that. I'm hearing who's in charge? Who's in charge? Who's in charge of your life? Who's in charge of your energy? Who's in charge of your perception? Who's in charge of your consciousness? Are you sure that you are the one in charge? The Prince of Pentacles is telling me to slow down and pay attention. Pay attention to all the little minute details that you may not have paid attention to before. The important little breadcrumbs that we are receiving right now are more important to our enlightenment than ever. And so the more we are present in every given moment, the more we are going about life in a slow manner. So we're not allowing the mind, the monkey mind, to just blah, 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 and like take us off course we're going to pick up on so much more of the detail. Right now, it's all in the details. Our own unique puzzle. We're receiving more and more pieces to put it together to be like, oh, so just when you think you know, like what your message is, it can change in a heartbeat. So that's another important thing, is to kind of get the ego in check, right? There's a spiritual ego too. When we have hit like aha moments and realizations, we're like, now I know. Well, maybe not. Maybe you only know what you need to know at this now moment. So again, slow and steady and grounded. Slow, steady, grounded steps, especially in the last few months of this year, will be extremely helpful and extremely important as Pluto brings us back into Capricorn energy. And we have some loose ends that we need to tie up. I feel like right now we're getting those breadcrumbs. We always get, here's the other thing, we always get, what would you call them? Previews, highlighted previews of what we're about to experience in the upcoming months. We can only pick up on and understand those previews if we're going slow and we're paying attention to the details. Not everything makes sense all at once, but in the next month or even in the next week, you're like, oh, now I get why XYZ happened, or why so-and-so said this, and the word stuck. Words will stick. Those are part of the puzzle. This is all binary. If you understand that the energy that we are operating in is all in a binary code. So some people really have the ability to read into the binary code, which would be like the number sequences, the numerology, and so forth and so on. For others of us, it's just feeling out the energy. So words, certain words, key words will stick. And sometimes those key words will repeat in multiple ways. It'll come out of somebody's mouth. You'll see it in the magazine cover while you're standing in line for the checkout. It'll be on a billboard. These words will start to put sentences together for you. Sometimes they're full sentences too, or sayings, or whatever. And it's unique for each and every individual. Our soul, our higher selves, we ourselves at a soul level put this all together for ourselves. So that's how resonance works. We also assigned key characters on Earth to come into our lives at certain times, or for us to read their book or be on their channel, and they give the certain words that stick too. Ooh, I'm resonating. This is making sense. Kind of. Don't think that everything makes sense all at once either, because it's a journey. Get excited about it though. If everyone is watching, it is only because you are camera ready. I've seen a lot of birds of a feather lately. Yes. Oh wait. Sorry guys. Something weird just happened. Okay. I think the person deleted their comment before I got a chance to do anything. Okay. Oh, wait. All right. Anyway, sorry, guys. All right, back to the message. Yes, birds of a feather lately. Are you coming in alignment with more people that are in alignment with you? Because that's definitely something that's been slowly trickling back into my life again too, which is always exciting. As well as literal birds. We have messengers from all over. And here's the part of awakening. There's stages and layers, right? Soul family. Yes, Amy. stages and layers of it. So usually in the beginning, when we are really just tapping into the fourth and parts of the fifth dimension, we're multidimensional. So we're in and out, and it's all in our consciousness. It's not like we go somewhere. In the beginning, it's more, for most, not all. I'm going to tell you from my experience and others I've dialogued with. We tap into the angelic realm, which is also linked to the animal kingdom, nature here. And it starts speaking to us because that's the most comfortable and it's more familiar. Many great ascended masters and others, artists and people going through their ascension have tapped into and expressed the angelic realm through art, through music, through dance, through everything. So it's something very common. From then it's angelic realm, ascended masters, of course, our guides, our personal guides that we are born with. For some it's fairies. You name it. These realms are very communicative to us all, and some people will just stay there. I'm very comfortable in the angelic, talking to the angelic realm, and that's all I need. Sometimes we get pulled into the fifth, sixth, seventh dimension from there and start speaking with other non-physical beings and star systems, and it goes from there. So again, we can go and communicate with all of them. I don't feel like many of us have gotten as far as what I was shown one time in my life. I was shown something pretty profound, and I don't even know if I could put words to it yet. Hi, Atusa. But anyway, I'm not even sure why we went there other than slowing down and paying attention to the details of what is communicating to you, to us. The Four of Wands is also telling me many of us are beginning to really feel a lot more in place, embodied, grounded, at home, in our comfort zone, and maybe almost ready, or some very ready, to expand out from just soul family, comfort zone, sanctuary spaces within and surrounding us. There's an expansion that we are starting to really feel the call to. And I see this as Jupiter and Saturn. Okay. Okay. Boy, we got a lot of chatter going on here, huh? I see this with Jupiter and Saturn kind of squaring each other. We want to expand. We want to expand out further from our comfort zone, but then the Saturn in Pisces, so I feel like that's more in the mind and in our bubble, is still like holding us, like not yet, but very soon. Not yet, but very soon. What's missing? The heart, filling our own cup up with love. That's important. Completely and utterly embodying self-love, self-compassion, and not needing anybody or anything outside of ourselves for our happiness, our joy, our confidence. And this is a new sensation. I will tell you, last night, yesterday was a good day for me. And it was a beautiful day outside. I spent most of the day outside when I got done doing the work I had to do and just kind of communing with nature. And suddenly, out of nowhere, the sun went down. I decided I'm going to go inside and lay down. I was getting tired. Out of nowhere, I got blasted blasted in the heart chakra with this energy. And it was like that upliftment, overwhelming. Like it took me, I was so overwhelmed by it. I was like, can we please like dial this down? Because it was so much. It took my breath away. And they just kept telling me, like, do you remember being in this energy? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And so I feel it off and on, like it's still coming and going. They were also asking me, why do you shut it down? Why do you turn it off? Why do you want to numb it? And I'm like, good question. It doesn't feel, there are times it doesn't feel safe. So I did my own self-inquiry there. Why does it not feel safe to have my heart blasted wide open? I think many of us walk around guarding our heart while our mind is wide open, where it should be the opposite. Guard the mind, guard what's going on in here, and open the heart. That was the message I received last night. That's truly being in our sovereignty and in our own power. Ooh. Let's get a couple more cards. I got about 15-20 minutes left before the family gets here. I think. This has been a week of unexpected surprises. I don't know about you guys. Lisa says, I love that. I know. It really is true. We guard our heart and keep our mind open. And I guess there's a saying, keep an open mind. Well, sure. But like our mind is a sponge. It's a computer that drives a lot of the things that go on in the body. So it's like, be mindful of what you put in there, what gets absorbed in the thought system, and keep the heart open. So I was like, oh, that actually feels good. That feels right to me. So I'm going to practice that today while I go to a party with hundreds and hundreds of people that I don't know. I'm going to keep my heart open and my mind guarded. It should be an interesting party, though. It's at a bee farm. I know the family that's having it, so and I'm going with my son and daughter-in-law and grandson, so I'm not going alone. But it's always interesting when there's a lot of energy going on, and bees are a symbol to me of the energetics. It's always interesting to kind of experience other people, especially groups of other people, through that. We have truth. Yeah. Okay. We're going to get into this truth card. Fell below Prince of Pentacles. Fell on top of Prince of Pentacles. And what truth is being revealed to us? Well, okay. The truth, again, if we put the focus back on what is the universe telling me about me? Because we're the ones growing. We're the ones evolving. Again, when we can go slow and not let the narrative, the story, the energy take over the mind and take us out of our body, out of our conscious awareness, lots and lots and lots of truth and lots and lots and lots of validation, which brings great balance. I'll tell you, the validating information I received this week really calmed my nervous system down and took me off the hook. Not to say that I still didn't have to take accountability for my part, meaning my thoughts. I didn't interact, but I had thoughts. I had thoughts and emotions tied to a certain someone and a certain outcome, and then I had to work within myself about that. Like, I don't know what's really going on. I can just feel this energetic interaction, and it doesn't feel good. So take it back within. What is this showing me? What is even though other people may be acting a certain kind of way, what is this actually bringing up for me to see, right? And when I finally resolved all that and just kind of let it go, forgiveness, whatever's going on with other people and their stuff, it's not about me anymore. I see my part in it. Then all of a sudden, a week later, bam, here's information, validation on what your actual intuitive senses, how you were seeing it was true. But you took it inward, because that's the first thing we need to do, is see, what is this showing me? Yes, what you may be witnessing, experiencing with others could very well be true. But the first key thing to do for me on my journey is to take it inward, instead of like projecting an opinion, a judgment, thoughts, emotions, as much as possible. A lot of things do affect us emotionally, energetically. They're designed to. So, go slow. Let's see what's going on here. Aw, thank you, Patsy. Your breath of sunshine page. Flow with the go. All right. My goodness gracious. A lot of infiltration in the comments. Anyway, back to the truth. Yes, the thoughts evoke emotions for sure. And we can actually generate more and more and more. We can create our own dramatic narrative. Don't forget, well, now the sun is in Virgo. The moon was in Leo, the very end degrees of Leo. I don't know about you all, but I watched so many people dramatically express their emotions and what's going on. And I my heart went out to them, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't have the energy to even hold space for this right now. And I don't think I was supposed to. I think I'm really supposed to. When I feel someone really trying to pull me into their own suffering, which they're creating from their own dramatic interpretation, and it's a reality for them. They're really feeling it and experiencing it. But and they reach and grab to bring other people in. In my past, I was one that got pulled into other people's stuff all the time to try to help neutralize. No. I learned the hard way. That is definitely not the way for me to operate with my energy. What does it mean when your right ear rings? Again, we were talking about ear ringing earlier. It could be a multitude of things. Right side of the body is the masculine energy within you. And if you're having any other pains or strange, like I have an eye twitch in my right eye. I've had it for days. Because the energetics, and it's the masculine energy that we hold, that picks up on that side of the body. Masculine energy meaning the protector, the logical mind, the doer. But the ringing, it really is either it's picking up on frequencies, the frequency shifting, the frequency changing, the energy's coming into the body, what's being purged out of the body. It could be your clairaudience or some of your clair senses picking up. It could be due to artificial energies like 5G, Wi-Fi, microwave, you name it. There's many different reasons why the ears would ring. So we'd have to really do more one-on-one sessions to kind of dive a little deeper into what else is going on when the ears are ringing. Because sometimes it's also when a thought arises, or we think it's our thought, but like a message comes in and we're not really paying attention or thinking that it's an important thought, but it's really like an intuitive hit or a download, the ears will start to ring as well. So hopefully that helps with some of you. We got solar plexus chakra, heart chakra, and sacrifice at the bottom of the deck. Harmony below that. Okay. So, and stand your ground below that. So this message is really talking about our interactions with others, as well as bringing it back to ourselves, our interaction with ourselves, our self-talk. Are we being compassionate and loving to ourselves? Overall, as I was talking about the Four of Wands, feeling more at home, feeling more comfortable, more grounded, almost as if we've completed a pretty long cycle of feeling unsafe, ungrounded, not embodied, to finally feeling more confident and maybe a bit of a confident in our journey right now, because I think a lot of people are receiving the clarification and validation that they really needed. And if you haven't quite yet, ask for it. It will be shown to you. You will be given. A lot of times we are tested, and this is a big testing period for many, 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 many of us. If you're not in tune and embodied with your psychic senses, and even if you are, you know, I always triple check with messages that seem really big and profound. But usually I get hit 3 times, and 3s are my numbers, right? I was born 3:33 in the morning. 3s are my numbers. I get a message 3 times. I'll get validation 3 times. I will get signs and synchronicities 3 times. And that's like, okay, thank you. I'm receiving. Thank you for validating and clarifying what I'm receiving, because it's still up to interpretation of our own unique individual mind as well. So yeah, feeling more, yes, self-reliance. There you go. Self-confidence. You were born 3:33 p.m. Oh, that's so cool. I was 3:33 a.m. And then back to Ace of Cups, really validating what I was saying about self-love, self-compassion, filling our cup up with our own energy, first and foremost, the heart chakra. And this is what I was feeling last night. To the, like, it was intense. It was amazing. But there was a part of me that was just like, I wanted to go to bed. I wanted to go to sleep. And it was like, bam, no, you're wide awake and your heart is blasted open. And I'm like trying to shut it down. Overall, we're talking about the sacrifices that we've made to keep ourselves, what we thought, what we've been conditioned, what we've been programmed to think is a harmonious relationship. We sacrifice ourselves. I think I posted something on Facebook today about, I've been doing it. These have been the messages that have been coming up to share. And it is to take a look at aspects of yourself that you have sacrificed in order for harmony and balance in your connections and relationships to others. No more. It is time now for us to stand our ground and to speak our truth. Because the energy is calling for it. It's saying no more, no more. We do this with love. We do this with compassion. We do this from the heart. We also do this from self-confidence, self-esteem. We speak our truth. And that is definitely what I have been witnessing and experiencing in the last couple of weeks, to a very intense level. Family, friends, myself. It's a beautiful thing, because this opens us all up for true, authentic relationship and communications with our loved ones and with others. This is where we can actually, it starts with ourselves. We've got to be home. Home is where the heart is. We've got to be at home with ourselves, all of our parts. Give ourselves that love. Sovereign being the one that's in control. I'm in control. I'm responsible for my happiness and my health and my blah, 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 blah. Then we can give. We can give from the heart. We can give from compassion. We can give our truth with love and compassion. I know, I always love these chats too. Patsy was born 1616. um, let's get one more card because I'm running out of time here. And I feel like the Starseed Oracle's calling my name, calling for us all to wrap this one up. I love the energy. I always love these chats too. I love the energy that we all bring together in here. It's a beautiful thing. And I know that there are more of you. This was very spontaneous. Usually my lives are. So if you're new, definitely subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so that you receive notifications when I do go live, because I feel like these are really helpful. They're helpful for us all, just to kind of share our experiences, share our energy, share our love. And in this room, in this chat, we are from all over the world. So that's another beautiful thing. Even though we may be far apart physically, we feel very connected in the heart chakra. And we know that that's how we all truly are connected in this huge web of consciousness. Spider webs have been big lately too for me as far as messages. Okay. Boy, this is definitely a reading about relationships here. I'm sorry. First thing I'm picking up before I even read this from the book, many may have been waiting around for an apology from somebody from family, somebody close, and have not received that apology. Yet have made great strides in overcoming that need for an apology, meaning having the ability to understand why things played out the way they played out, or why things were said, or whatever, and to know that when somebody projects their pain and anger onto you, it's not about you, it's about them. But there's always something for us to take away, either how we react and respond, or showing a version of ourselves that reacted that way in the past. Regardless, the need for the apology is no longer a need. It's no longer a want or a need. There's more compassion. There's more heartfelt energy. And there's so many out there that are still going through the really, really dark night of the soul parts of the journey. My love and compassion goes out to everyone. And a lot of people are still silent in this. They're not speaking it out. But this talks about defenselessness, righting past wrongs, and uprooting. Hello? Early there. It's about 1:48 here. Yeah. So, yep, true. Story forgotten. That's so true. Yeah, isn't it interesting though? We didn't have to pretend. In the past, it's like our ego saying, I don't need an apology anymore. I'm fine. I got to move on because we want to move on. Yet there's still an energetic. There's still an energetic in there. Whenever you're around, or whenever this person came into the mind, it's like if they would just apologize and feel better. Now that energy is totally different. For me, that's been a couple years, but I see it over and over again where I'm like, the past is like so far in the past. Things have changed so much that the story has been forgotten. Yeah. And the forgiveness has taken over. It's okay. It's all good. And maybe that's something that we're sacrificing. I don't need an apology anymore. I'm harmonious within my own heart. If it happens again, I might speak my truth. But honestly, these are usually one and done blasts that hit us in a really wounded spot to begin with, that we didn't recognize or notice that we had that deep wounding. So in all actuality, we can thank these people for showing us our deep core wounds and pouring salt into it for a moment, but then it gave us, it brought it to the light of consciousness where I got to heal from this. I need to move on from this, you know. I'm allowed to blame for all that allowed. So, I'm sorry. Let's read it from the book. We're living in divisive times. When we're hurt and triggered, we tend to see things as a personal attack rather than an opportunity for healing. If we're to find true peace and unity, we need to drop our defenses and see things outside of right and wrong. As souls, we intrinsically remember unity and yearn for it here on earth. Perhaps this is why it feels so painful when we experience the opposite. But it's crucial to remember that we can't simply bypass reality and pretend that unity, love, and forgiveness are here. This is one of the greatest challenges for starseeds. To bring about unity, we must first acknowledge the ways in which both we and the world have been divisive, personally, ancestrally, and collectively. The shadows, hate, wounds, separation, severing, wrongs, and sadness. You may be called to explore how you, your ancestors, or your society have, consciously or unconsciously, inflicted pain on others. To find a way to drop the armor around your heart and see things as they truly are for all people. To say I'm sorry with an open heart and mean it. To be part of the healing rather than the perpetuation of inherited conflict or oppression. This isn't about blame. It's about unwinding the patterning that got us here. You may be called to devote your time to causes you believe in or do healing work on your ancestral line. Oh, that's a big one. The ancestral healing is big for a lot of people. My mom and I had to talk about this the other day when she was telling me her experience that she had recently gone through. And we dove deeper into my grandmother, her mother's experience, and then her mother's experience. And we were like, we are putting an end to this ancestral karma. I mean, and I said, Mom, you make it stop on your end so I don't have to experience it. And yeah, it's traumatic. But now, present day, it actually doesn't have to be. It doesn't. What's coming in from the universe now is all the most traumatic parts are in the mind, the story in the mind of the what ifs, and because of things that happened in the past, if we're staying with the past, we're recreating and keeping that energy alive over and over and over again. So there comes a time where it's like, all right, we've got to stop. We've got to put an end to it. So that is what I have for us all. The mind drives me crazy. Yeah. When we can get behind it and see that we really don't have control over all those thoughts, but when we stop believing them, when we stop allowing them to infiltrate our nervous system and our emotional system, they actually stop. They eventually slow down and stop. It's whatever we're giving attention and energy to. That's how energies work. This is the quantum field, the same thing with the quantum field. Whatever we're giving our attention, our power, energy, belief to, feeds it, energizes it, creates it to be more. And it's eventually it's like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. Let's clear it, clear the system, complete refrag, overhaul, clean slate. Eventually we get to a point where it's like, you know what, none of that stuff from the past even matters anymore. The story is dead, and I'm ready to create something definitely more harmonious and peaceful in my life experience, which will ripple out into others and the collective. And eventually we'll all get there. I don't know if it'll all happen in this lifetime, but this is the journey that we are going for. Reboot, yes. Reboot. Again, the whole principle of be the change is we all desire change in this world, but the way that we're going to get there is to create that change within us, see where we had participated in the parts that we don't like, either in the thoughts, in the beliefs, in the energy field, or more so, and put a stop to that. And start to come together more, collaborate more, work together, more energy on a high more people holding a higher frequency of energy without these big belief systems and the my truth, your truth, blah 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 blah. It was more powerful, like just say two people is more powerful than thousands of people that are just unconsciously, willy-nilly roaming around about the earth, completely programmed and conditioned. So yes, such good advice. I only had a minute. Thanks as always for the beauty you put into this world. So true. The ancestral line. Yes, yes. May harmony win. Harmony is definitely winning in my life experience, and it's been a long road to get there. However, I fully take accountability for my thoughts, my portion of it. And that can be just energetic. Because, again, remember, telepathy, first of all, we're all one way or the other reading each other's thoughts and energy field. And some people still don't believe it. Other people are like astonished at what they're reading. So we got to clear it up, clean it up, unless you want to, transparency, eventually everybody is going to be so extremely transparent to each other that we want to see what we're actually projecting out there ourselves. And if you do want to see what you're projecting out there, like saying, I can't see my blind spots, just take a look in the cosmic mirror of your friend, of your relative, of the person who triggers you the most. Usually is the one that's going to actually be showing you your blind spots, what others may see, but you might not see all the way. So we help each other out that way. And that helps to bring more peace and harmony into the collective field and our experiences as well. So again, thank you all so much for joining in. I love the chat. It's been a beautiful mixture of our experiences, and let's just keep going, Oh, Patsy, I'm alone most days. Well, that's good. In a way, sometimes being alone, it means that you can really get in there and know all of your blind spots and everything. You can really get there. Even if you're not being reflected back by another person, if a memory comes up that's triggering, that also is the same thing. It'll take you to that wound. It'll take you to that place that needs more love, not less. Amy says this resonates so much. Thank you, Paige. Thank you, Amy. Thank you all so much. This was, as always, an amazing gathering, and great to see. I don't see you guys, but great to exchange energy with you all. Know that we're still going through this. The end of this year is a lot of energy shifts and changes. Pluto moving back into Capricorn in 1 week. So that's probably a lot of the things that we did not see. It's tying up loose ends. clearing out a lot of stuff. Now, Pluto is transformation. I always say Uranus is the planet that it is unexpected shocks, surprises. It will move us when we're not able to make the changes ourselves. It will make them for us. Well, Pluto's transformation. If you're already aware of where you're changing and transforming, you're going to be in alignment with Pluto. But if you're still resisting what the universe is putting down for you to really see and change within yourself, Pluto's transits, especially if it's taking you back to Capricorn, backwards, they can be a little more harsh, I will say. It is death energy and rebirth energy. It is our soul's journey is linked to Pluto, and Pluto is the underworld. So it will take us into a deep, dark plunge into the underworld if needed. And I feel like we all will be going there. But don't be afraid of it. Actually embrace and embody the underworld of yourself as well. So thank you guys. Love you all. And have a beautiful rest of your weekend. Take care. Bye.